right? This is the year,
Quest.
King's Quest. This
From
is the year of
Sierra.
King's Quest. From Sierra.
Famously designed by Roberta Williams.
Right.
One of the only, or certainly in that time, the most notable, most well-known female game designer developer.
Yeah, I'd say so. If you knew about, one of the reasons for that is that Sierra did a good job of letting people know who made their games. They wanted to make rock stars out of their developers early on, and they did a pretty good job of putting people's names on the boxes and making sure you knew who was behind these things. But the cool thing about King's Quest is it's a fiendishly difficult video game.
Yes.
Just vicious.
It's mean.
But
It's
yeah,
mean
it is
to you.
mean. It is mean. There's so many ways to die, and you'll come up with something clever. You're like, oh, I got by the alligators. I'm swimming. Well, they're still alligators. They eat you. You know, they find or
It's
move
the
this
Dark
rock.
Souls of the 1980s.
It is kind of, you move this rock to solve the puzzle, the rock just falls on you and kills
Yeah.
you. That's my favorite moment. You have to move a rock, so you move it, it just falls on you, you die. But they looked at PCs and they said, what are these things good at? Well, they weren't really good at action games at that point, but they were really good at generating beautiful still images. So they built a game around that idea. They'd already experimented with that with Mystery House and some other text adventure games with simple graphics.
Quaintly called their high-res adventures.
Yeah, exactly. And those were just a bunch of lines that the program drew on the fly. But they kept building on that, and King's Quest is really kind of where it all came together. King's Quest 1 is not the best King's Quest game, but it's very flavorful and enjoyable and important. It's got some good humor to it. Frustrating as all, but a different kind of video game for a new generation of gamer that was starting to make a color PC a part of their day-to-day life, looking for something to do with this really expensive device they bought to keep recipes on.
Yeah.
And it set up all those Sierra games that came after it, including Black Cauldron, which is my favorite. Yeah, you know, Space Quest and Police Quest and even Leisure Suit Larry got its start there. So
it's a really important seminal point-and-click adventure game. You know, sort of graduated us out of text adventures into. Although text adventures did, you know, there is some overlap there. But like it was really early. Like King's Quest. I mean, we're talking about the early '80s still. That's early for that game to have really set the tone for what was to come.
They also inspired rivals, that would become LucasArts and that whole other school, of forgiving, humorous adventure games versus viciously evil adventure games.
Although the Lucas games now still seem a little viciously evil.
But not like King's Quest.
Yeah, but not like King's Quest. You're absolutely right.
Go back and try to get 2 screens of King's Quest now.
It's true. It's
not
true.
Easy.
I played the MS-DOS emulator version of Black Cauldron recently, and I was like, oh God, this is I can't do it. I can't do it.